how much do you think this electric bike costs?
£350.
£1,200.
500 maybe? 600 pounds?
Now the actual price is £589.99. The two young girls were the closest with £600 and £500 guesses. There was a £1,200 guess, which probably, in my opinion, if that was me, that's probably the price I would have maybe put an electric bike, around £1,200. Then the £350 guess, the gentleman did say to me before that he didn't have a clue about electric bikes anyway. Even so, £589.99 for this electric bike, I'm going to tell you right now at the start of this video, is fantastic value for money. Now my big 6'6" lanky assistant is going to show you around the bike. So this is the U2 Commuter step-through electric bike from iScooter Global, retailing £589.99. And although it's not the best looking electric bike out there, offers sturdiness and fantastic build quality. Now I'm 6'6", around 2 meters, just under 2 meters tall, and you can see the difference in size. Obviously, I'm a big guy. This is what they mean by step through. So you step through. It's not a woman's bike apparently. I asked that. Flick up that. But that's me. And if you're a big guy like myself, you're fine. 6'6". There also is a quick release seat as well for all sorts of heights. If you're a little bit smaller, and if you're even taller as well, so should accommodate most people's heights. There's a weight limit of 120 kilograms. I'm actually near the top of that, the limit. I'm actually 115 kilograms, and I've still managed to get top speed of 20 miles an hour on this. These are 16-inch wheels, front and back, obviously. There's quick release on the front. We also have disc brakes front and back, and we have 7 Shimano gears. So there's 1 gear at the front and there's 7 at the back, total of 7 gears. So just in front of the back wheel, below the seat, there is a large battery, 468 WH, which I believe means 468 watt hours of battery. Now, there's apparently a 47-mile limit on this battery, and with a maximum of 20 miles per hour ride as well, which I did achieve with this. I achieved 20 miles an hour even up a hill, dropped down to around 18 sometimes. But if you've shifted into gear 7 and you're really going for it, you can actually go faster than what the bike actually does electronically as well. So you can drive faster than 20 miles per hour if you need to. And in terms of the frame, we have an alloy steel frame, and we also have front forks as well. So the suspension forks, aluminium suspension forks, and the seat is quite squidgy and comfy, even for a man of my size and weight. So you shouldn't have no issues there. I'm not a big fan of the brown colour, if I'm being honest. I think if it was all black, it would have looked a little bit better. And on here, you also have a back rack as well, if you want to put your bags or whatever on there. And that is pretty sturdy also. This comes in a large box. Unboxing experience and putting it together, for me personally, wasn't great. I think the instruction manual could be a little bit clearer. I had trouble getting the wheel on as well at first. The instructions tell you to sort of stand the bike up and drop the forks into the wheel, but we ended up pretty much lifting it on its back and putting it in that way, which is a lot easier. So I think the instructions could be a little bit better. So in the back wheel, that is where the motor is. I'm not entirely sure on the law, but this is 350 watt motor, and I live in the UK, so I've read some things about 350 watt motors not being eligible in the UK, but that's a bit of a grey area, I'm not too sure. But yeah, the motor is in the back. It is heavy. Oh, he lost it there. You can still pick it up. The kickstand there is pretty strong as well and sturdy. There is lights on the back, which you have to connect via a cable around here. When you connect it, you do have to install the back rack on as well. And there is a front light there with a horn built into it as well. So on the handlebar here, we have a light. So if you press that in, that engages the rear light and the front light. And below that, there's also a horn button. Listen to this. That is horrible. I don't even know where it's coming from. I think it might be coming from down near the light. Yeah. So underneath the seat obviously is the battery. There's a little lever under the seat that you can flick up and do that. And you think, why? Why? Well, there's a handle on the battery here, and with the key, which I haven't got on me at the moment, but I've got to magically make it appear in another clip. You insert the key into the keyhole, twist it, it basically unlocks the battery, and you can pull the battery out, and you can charge this in your house, anywhere. So you don't have to charge the bike with the battery connected. So here I am, I've mounted my smartphone, might be a little bit wobbly, on to the front bars of this bike. Hopefully my wind filter's kicking in because it's windy. But at the minute I'm pedaling. I have power assisted speed set to 5. I'm pedaling and now I can feel the motor's kicking in already. That's kicking in now, don't need to pedal. And when you stop pedaling, the motors stop and you're rolling. So let's go again, pedaling. So I'm pedaling, I'm doing 18.2 kilometers an hour. Now the motors are kicking in. I'm up to 23 kilometers an hour, 24, 25 kilometers. Whoa, that's windy. So 25 kilometers an hour seems to be the max speed. So let's go full throttle, no pedaling, which you can do. You don't have to pedal. You could just use it as a proper electric bike. But where's the fun in that? You need a bit of exercise. Let's go pedaling with it now. In 7th gear. So I'm in 7th gear now, the highest gear. 22 kilometers an hour. I can feel the motors kicking in. Top speed again, 25 kilometers an hour. A little light bit of pedaling and motors. You can bring the power assist down to 3. There we go. That's actually quite nice, actually, 3. Let's stop here. Thank you. Okay. Yes, so pedaling more now, obviously a bit harder. So the PAS is set to 3. I'm pedaling, I've got 15 kilometers an hour. I think I prefer a bit more power. There we go. Up a hill. Up a hill, you're still getting 23. 23 kilometers an hour up a hill. Now down a hill, it's limited to 25. Limited to 25 kilometers an hour, which is fine. I think it's a safe enough speed. But I'm not a big bike rider. I have a bike at home that I don't really use, but they sent me this for free. They haven't paid me or anything. But I was really interested to see and experience what an electric bike was like, and I think it's good. For me, style-wise, it's not something that probably suits me or anything like that, but it's like I think it's like a generic sort of commuter electric bike that you're going to get nowadays. You can get this in white as well. But the bike is well built, it's sturdy, the brakes are good, maybe a little bit soft, might need tightening or adjusting of some kind, but the brakes do stop you. And when you are pedaling, it's nice to have that, it's on max at the moment. So when it's at max, when you're pedaling, you can feel the motors kick in, and it is nice. It's a bit of a relief actually if you're a bit tired. But yeah, you can have it all the way down to 0, and that's basically just a normal functional bike. The one thing I have noticed on this bike, this is called the U2 electric bike, and the only branding they have is on the side there and on the side there. There's nothing at the front, there's no sort of badge at the front, so I thought there might have been incorporated there, but there isn't. So have a closer look at the display. It's nothing special, digital display, and the menu here we can go. So this trip's 4.4 kilometers that I've traveled so far. The battery's still full. Volume, I think that's the volume of the, is that the volume of the, I'm not sure what that means. No. Vol, Cur, RM T1. Now the bike is IPX4 splash proof. So I was naughty. You need to make sure that's covered. You don't want to get any water or splashes in there. If you do, you don't want to charge it. It takes around 6 hours to fully charge. What we got here, you can't see it in this light actually. There we go, look. Red and 2 blocks of green there. On the display here, it just says pretty much full. So let's whack power assist up to the max. And you can just kick off. There we go. Shouldn't really be doing it one-handed, but look, you can see the speedometer. Bit of wind here, going up the hill. Fully up the hill, 20 kilometers, look, 18 kilometers going uphill. So I'm back in the car. Managed to get the bike in there as well. It is a big bike, but I had to use an Allen key and bend the handlebars down so they could fit into the back of my car. I've got quite a big boot in my car as well, so if you are thinking of traveling around, you might want to get a sort of a bike rack for it perhaps, because yeah, it's a fairly large bike. Now, because this is the first time I've ever ridden an electric bike, I'm just used to traditional bikes, pedaling, away you go. Now I was in like 7th gear, so it's really hard to push if you slowed right down. This is where the pedal assist kicks in nicely. I had a few people in front of me. I braked right pretty much to a halt. I was sort of slowly going on. But then as soon as you start to pedal a little bit on the 7th gear, because it's really hard to push, the motor kicks in and gives you that little bit of a kick. So here you go, mate. I'm like, oh yeah, and it gets you back up to that speed straight away, and then you can go full pelt pedaling. Now I noticed the speedo clock, well, yeah, basically stops at 25 kilometers an hour, but I swear I was pedaling faster than that. So even if you're pedaling faster than 25 kilometers an hour, you're not going to see that on the speedometer. So yeah, I had a pretty decent workout. I was pedaling myself a lot, but yeah, I really loved and enjoyed that little kick, that little boost that the motor gives you. There you go, mate. Just because you've all been there where you're trying to crank down into 1st gear again to sort of get that momentum up. Stay in 7th gear, stay in like the strongest gear, pedal a touch, and the motor's just kick in and yeah, kick you along. So yeah, I really like that. So let me round this up. I hope you enjoyed the video, but let me just conclude everything. Okay. The price, £589.99, as I said at the start, is fantastic value for money. The bike is built really well. It's durable. It's comfortable. The things I don't like about it is the design. I don't like that it looks like, although it says vintage, it just looks dated to me, like a maybe 1930s, 1940s sort of style bike. There is a white version which does look, in my personal opinion, better than the black one I have. But yeah, I just don't like the design too much. But that's about it. My main bugbear is the design and what it looks like. The riding experience is great. Very minimal noise from the motor. It's not a noisy electric bike. So if I had to make minor improvements to the bike, it would definitely be in the design area, maybe more color schemes, and I'd upgrade the existing LCD display on the handlebars. Obviously when you're looking at it straight on, it's great, but in certain angles, if it's really, really bright, it's more difficult to see. So that's it, a solid and well-built electric bike. That is the U2 Commuter Step Through. I'll include any relevant links to this in the description if you want to go and take a look. But thank you all very much for watching. Smash that like button. If you've enjoyed the content, then do please consider subscribing. Bye-bye.